Hi, I'm Esther. At 53, I've spent most of my life putting my kids before myself. That's what moms do, right? My son Mark has always been my pride and joy. When he announced his engagement to Vanessa, I was over the moon. I wanted to give them the perfect start. Mom, we're trying to keep the wedding costs down. Anything you could contribute would help. I looked at my savings account that morning. The numbers stared back at me. My retirement fund that I'd been building since the divorce from Aaron 5 years ago. $15,000. That's what I decided to give them. Honey, I want to help with the wedding. I've put aside $15,000. Mark's eyes widened. Are you serious? Mom, that's incredible. Vanessa rushed over and hugged me. Oh my God, Esther, you're the best mother-in-law ever. My sister Patricia thought I was crazy. We were having coffee at her place the week before the wedding. 15,000? Esther, that's your safety net. What are you thinking? They're young, Pat. They need the help more than I do. And what about your condo repairs? The roof isn't going to fix itself. I stirred my coffee. I'll figure something out. Maybe pick up some extra consulting hours. The wedding was everything I'd hoped for. The venue overlooked the lake, flowers everywhere, and Mark looked so handsome in his tux. My daughter Olivia served as maid of honor, stunning in her blue dress. You really went all out, Mom, Olivia whispered during the reception. I hope they appreciate what this cost you. It's worth every penny to see your brother this happy. Aaron even behaved himself, keeping his new girlfriend at a respectful distance. Nice wedding, he said, awkwardly patting my shoulder. Big chunk of change, though, huh? Just doing what parents do, I replied. 3 weeks after the wedding, I invited the newlyweds over for dinner to see their photos. Mark and Vanessa arrived an hour late. Sorry, the Hawaii pictures took forever to download, Vanessa said, barely looking up from her phone. Hawaii? I thought you guys were doing a weekend in the mountains. Mark shrugged. We upgraded. Once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I noticed Vanessa's new designer purse and Mark's expensive watch. Funny how they could afford those after claiming they needed help with wedding expenses. Over dessert, I asked about thank you cards. Did you need help addressing them? I know your grandmother was asking about hers. Vanessa exchanged a look with Mark. We're handling it our way. No offense, but we don't need you micromanaging our marriage. I was just asking. Mom, we've got it covered, Mark interrupted. Actually, we should get going. Vanessa's got an early meeting. As they left, I noticed they didn't thank me for dinner, or the wedding money. In fact, they hadn't properly thanked me since the check cleared. Standing in my doorway, watching them drive off in their new car, I felt a chill that had nothing to do with the evening air. Something had changed. I just didn't know how bad it was about to get. A month after that dinner, I ran into my cousin Debbie at the grocery store. She gushed about Mark and Vanessa's wedding. What an amazing party they threw. Vanessa told me how they saved for 2 years to pay for everything themselves. Such responsible young people. My cart stopped mid-aisle. They said they paid for everything? Oh, yes. Vanessa mentioned how proud they were to start their marriage debt-free. She said something about you wanting to contribute, but they insisted on handling it themselves. I gripped the shopping cart tighter. That's interesting. When I tried calling Mark that evening, it went straight to voicemail. 3 times. Finally, I texted him. Need to talk to you. Important. Love you. His response came hours later. Super busy with work. We'll call when things calm down. But that call never came. For weeks, every family gathering had a new excuse. Olivia stopped by my place with coffee one Saturday morning. Have you noticed Mark never shows up for anything anymore? I've texted him about dinner like 5 times. Vanessa always has something scheduled. A work event, dinner with her friends, some class they're taking. Mom, I saw them at Costello's last weekend when they told you they were out of town at her parents'. My heart sank. Are you sure? Positive. They were with another couple. Mark saw me and practically dragged Vanessa out the back door. Despite the growing distance, I was hopeful when Mark and Vanessa invited the whole family for dinner at their new house. Patricia picked me up. commenting on their fancy neighborhood. Didn't you say Mark was worried about money before the wedding? This place isn't cheap. During dinner, I casually mentioned the thank you cards again. Your great Aunt Martha asked if hers got lost in the mail. Mark slammed down his fork. Why are you so obsessed with these stupid cards? I'm not obsessed, Yes, you are. You're constantly trying to control every aspect of our lives. The table went silent. Hey, let's calm down, Erin said. Mark pointed at me. She's been like this since the wedding. Over-involved, calling constantly, questioning our decisions. That's not fair, I said, tears threatening. I've barely seen you. Vanessa put her hand on Mark's arm. Honey, remember what Dr. Miller said about setting boundaries with toxic relationships? Toxic? Olivia stood up. Are you kidding me? It's okay, I said, not wanting to make a scene. I should go. The next day, Patricia called me. Her voice hushed. You won't believe what I found out. Vanessa's sister told me they used your money for their honeymoon. The weekend in the mountains story was just for you. They spent 10 days at some 5-star resort in Hawaii, plus shopping sprees. What about the wedding costs? Vanessa's parents covered most of it. They got a deal through a family friend. I sank onto my couch, devastated. Why would they lie? There's more. I ran into Mark's friend Tyler yesterday. He asked if you were doing better. When I looked confused, he said Mark told everyone you've been emotionally unstable since the divorce, making up stories, and getting confused about financial arrangements. They're telling people I'm crazy? I'm so sorry, Esther. Tyler seemed genuinely concerned about your memory issues and fabricated stories. The room spun around me as I realized my son wasn't just avoiding me. He was systematically destroying my reputation to cover his lies. I couldn't sleep that night. By morning, I was done with tears. It was time for action. I called Olivia and Patricia for an emergency meeting at my condo. We need proof of everything, I said, spreading out a notepad on my kitchen table. Dates, conversations, witnesses. Olivia pulled out her phone. I've got screenshots of Mark's excuses for missing family events, and photos of them at restaurants when they claimed to be out of town. Patricia nodded. I've been keeping track, too. Something felt off from the beginning. We spent hours documenting every lie, every missed event, every rumor. The pattern was clear and disturbing. Have you talked to Uncle George lately? Olivia asked suddenly. Not since the wedding. Why? He mentioned loaning Mark money for emergency car repairs. $10,000. My stomach dropped. But they just bought that BMW. Patricia gasped. Esther, call your cousin Ellen, now. Ellen answered on the second ring. I put her on speaker. Ellen, did Mark and Vanessa ask you for money recently? How did you know? They said they needed help with medical bills. Vanessa was apparently having some procedures done. I gave them $8,000. Is everything okay? After calling 5 more relatives, we uncovered over $50,000 in loans, none of which had been repaid. They're working their way through the family, Patricia said grimly. The doorbell rang. To my shock, Erin stood there looking uncomfortable. Can I come in? We need to talk. Olivia shot me a confused look as her father sat at my kitchen table. They hit me up too, Erin confessed. Claimed they needed help with a down payment on their house. I gave them 20 grand. You never told me, Olivia said. I was embarrassed. Then last week, I overheard Vanessa at the golf club telling someone that Mark's crazy mother was harassing them for money. Said you were making up stories about giving them wedding funds. My hands shook. Why would you believe me over your own son? Because this isn't the first time. Remember Vanessa's ex-boyfriend, the doctor? I ran into him at a conference. Said she did the same thing, isolated him from family, then systematically borrowed money from his relatives. Patricia pulled out her laptop. I'm friends with Vanessa's aunt on Facebook. Let me message her. 3 hours and many phone calls later, we had our answer. Vanessa had a History 3 previous relationships with wealthy men, each ending after she'd extracted maximum financial benefit from their families. They're hosting that 1-year anniversary party next month, Olivia said. Everyone who's given the money will be there. Perfect timing, Aaron said with a grim smile. What's the plan? I thought for a moment. I've kept everything. The bank transfer receipt, text messages about the wedding money, everything. Plus photos of the Hawaii trip they claimed they couldn't afford. We need more, Patricia insisted. We need irrefutable proof that they've been systematically lying. I know someone who can help, Aaron said. A private investigator friend who owes me a favor. 2 weeks later, we gathered again. The PI had delivered a comprehensive file bank records, social media posts, recorded conversations with family members, and damning text messages between Mark and Vanessa discussing their family cash cow strategy. I spread everything across the table. At the party, we'll need perfect timing. And what then? Olivia asked quietly. I looked at my daughter, my sister, and my ex-husband, my unexpected allies. Then we end this, once and for all. The anniversary party was at the Grand Terrace. I arrived early with Patricia, Olivia, and Aaron. Our evidence was ready on the laptop connected to the projector. Everyone they borrowed from is here, Olivia whispered. Mark spotted me. Mom, didn't think you'd make it. I wouldn't miss this for the world. Vanessa gave me a cold smile. We have a special seating arrangement. Actually, I've brought a special anniversary gift. Something to share with everyone. Aaron tapped on a microphone. If I could have everyone's attention, Esther has prepared a special presentation. Mark looked confused. Vanessa's smile disappeared. What's going on? She hissed. I took the microphone. A year ago, I gave my son and daughter-in-law $15,000 for their wedding. Today, I'll show you what happened to that money and to funds many of you generously gave. The presentation began. Bank statements showed my transfer to Mark's account, followed by withdrawals for their Hawaii resort, luxury shopping, and BMW down payment. They told everyone they paid for their own wedding. In reality, Vanessa's parents covered most costs, while my contribution funded their luxury honeymoon. Text messages appeared on screen. Hit up Mom for the wedding $. She'll cave. Your Aunt Ellen is next. Play up the medical angle. Got $20K from Dad. This is too easy. Gasps filled the room. Vanessa's business partners exchanged alarmed glances. Many of you were told I'm suffering from memory issues. These lies were designed to discredit me. Family members stood, each stating how much they'd loaned the couple. The total, $93,500. Mark rushed toward me. Mom, stop, you're embarrassing yourself. Am I? Let's hear from others. The final slides showed Vanessa's history, previous relationships, previous scams, testimonials from other families. Vanessa's business partner stood up. You've been defrauding your own family? Mark pushed through the crowd. Mom, please, I'm sorry. We can fix this. I looked at my son and felt nothing but pity. There's no fixing this, Mark. You chose her over your family, over basic decency. But you're my mother. You have to forgive me. I don't have to do anything. My love wasn't an obligation, it was a gift, and you threw it away. 3 weeks later, Olivia helped me move into my renovated condo. The court had ordered Mark and Vanessa to repay everyone. Vanessa's business collapsed after clients learned of the scandal. Mark lost his job when his employer discovered other borrowing. That evening, my support network gathered for dinner. Looking around at these people who stood by me, I realized I'd gained far more than I'd lost. To new beginnings, Patricia said, raising her glass. And to knowing your own worth, I replied, finally feeling stronger than I had in years. What would you have done if you were in Esther's position? At what point is it justified to cut off your own child from your life, even when they apologize? Is protecting yourself from toxic behavior more important than maintaining family bonds? The story has ended, but the conversation is just beginning. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective on this difficult situation. If you enjoyed this story and want more content like this, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us create more engaging stories that explore the complexities of human relationships.